Hello, this is Ken Ferry with this week's Boots in the Field. The question of the week this week is using ESN, so we're talking about encapsulated urea versus side dressing. So can I use ESN out there and eliminate side dressing my three-corner patches, my small fields, or maybe fields that got a lot of topography changes to it and a lot of different row directions because I'm planting based on topography out there at south? Eliminating running over corn and causing more damage than the applicator is causing good. And the question is, yes, we've done a lot of work with the ESN. This is an excellent product from that perspective. It can be used in place of side dressing. So in other places it can be used is in place of late season applications. So if we have low ISNT values, for instance, and we're running out of nitrogen on the back end of the growing season, you can use the ESN to lengthen out the back side of that as well. So there's a lot of good possibilities with this product. The thing we have to remember based on our work here is how long does ESN sit before it starts to convert to a usable form of nitrogen. When we put it on top, it's about 60 days. So it's an altogether different arena than the inhibitors that we're used to. I mean, this is big time when we're talking about getting out there 60 days before it starts to release. Now, it doesn't all release at 60 days, but that's when our test would show that it starts to cycle and we start to see our nutrients release in it. If we incorporated it into the soil, it was about 45 days. So that's pretty cool from that perspective, and that definitely would work as a side dress application. The thing you got to remember, though, is you have to get that 60 days. You have to get to that 60 days. You can't have corn looking for nitrogen in between there. So if you put too much of your nitrogen on as ESN, or weather conditions leach away the nitrogen that you did in your pre-plant or your fall anhydrous, you don't want corn looking for nitrogen, and your ESN is sitting out there and it's 20 days from recycling or releasing itself. Because remember, during that rapid growth stage, we're sucking up almost 10 pounds a day. So if you were 10 days short on that nitrogen showing up, it could get brutal. Now, anybody selling ESN would not recommend that you use all ESN because of that reason itself. So from a timing perspective, we have to make sure we have enough nitrogen to get this crop to the ESN release in itself. The other thing about ESN is before it'll dissolve in water, it'll float. So if you do put it on some steep topography and you get a hard driving rain, remember, if it's not incorporated, it could move with the water and end up down in the waterway itself. So you want to be a little bit careful there. But no, this is a great product. It spreads well. You can spread it, right at planting. You can spread it shortly after emergence, depending on whether you're growing on 95-day corn in the north or 120-day corn in the south. You want to think about when you need that nitrogen and make sure that you're at least 60 days before that with that application itself. Hope that helps you. We'll talk to you next week.